I'm the E3 coordinator this year. And I really cannot tell you how excited I am for tonight. And so excited for all of you here, whether it's your first time, whether you're coming back from being gone for a while, or you come every week. Like, I'm just so excited to be here tonight, to be able to worship with you guys. It's a really beautiful thing, and it's a really big part for my week, and you guys make my week, so I just want to thank you for that. So, like I said at the beginning, we are going to be doing things a little differently at E3 this semester. And so, just some background. Last semester we got a lot of suggestions and a lot of feedback about E3 and about ways to improve E3. And I just want to let you guys know, like, we heard you. We listened to every single one. We discussed every single suggestion we got. And these are the things that the team and I came up with and really thought through, really prayed about, and what we think will be best for the program. So bear with me. This semester is really going to be a trial and error semester. And so I just ask that you guys are patient with us, and that you trust that we'll work out the kinks, and whatever is thrown at us, we'll figure it out. Biggest change, we're bringing back the Britney Spears mic. And it's not doing super great so far.
We're working on it.
That's okay, I'll talk loudly. It's fine. Okay, so first I wanted to talk to you guys about thank you. Okay, so our first change unfortunately failed. I'll be on a leash. So, alrighty, we're really gonna wake up from here, guys. Wait. So, first I wanted to talk to you guys about the mission of E3 and what this program means to Newman. So I'm going to read to you guys the Bible verse, and you can follow along on the screen. It's from Ephesians 3:14-21. For this reason I kneel before the Father, from whom every family in heaven and on earth is named, that he may grant you in accord with the riches of the glory to be strengthened with power through his Spirit in the inner self, and that Christ may dwell in your hearts through faith, that you, rooted and grounded in love, may have strength to comprehend with all the holy ones what is the breadth, length, height, and depth, and to know the love of Christ that surpasses knowledge, so that you may be filled with the fullness of God. Now to him who is able to accomplish far more than all we ask or imagine, by the power at work within us, to him in glory and in the church, and imagine by the power at work in Christ Jesus to all generations, forever and ever. Amen. Amen. Okay, so I want to take apart just this little piece of the prayer, and it's a prayer for the readers. So this is really put in the Bible, all the Bible's put in for us, but this piece especially. That you, rooted and grounded in love, may have strength to comprehend with all the holy ones what is the breadth and length and height and depth, and to know the love of Christ that surpasses knowledge, so that you may be filled with all the fullness of God. So we are here to find that breadth and length and height and depth of our relationship with God. That is what E3 is here to do. We are here to give you the tools to do that. But it's also up to you guys. You have to take the initiative to take those tools and to use them how you will. And if you are so deep in your faith with God and you just feel like you're on fire, then Newman is also here to add stepping stones to. Okay. So E3 is supposed to be used as a stepping stone to lead you to further your faith. So it doesn't just stop at E3. There are discipleships, there are Bible studies, there is a brand new program called Living Truth that will focus on more of those hot topics and controversial topics to the Catholic faith. And so if you're just so on fire, thank you, John. Alrighty, I have such a great team. Okay, so if you just feel like you have this fire in your heart and you just want to dive deeper and deeper into your faith, it doesn't stop at E3. Use E3. Come and use E3. but also it doesn't stop there. Like, take the initiative to go even further. But if you also feel like you're somebody whose flame is just like an ember, God uses that. Keep showing up to Mass, keep showing up to E3, because an ember can turn into a flame. And so E3 is here to be the tools that you guys need, wherever you are in your faith journey. But it's also here to tailor towards 100 different souls every week, and 100 different faith journeys, and 100 different relationships with God. And so you may not feel connected to a talk every week, and that's okay. You know, we don't expect you to every single week, but that talk can mean something to one person in this room. And if that talk touches one person's life, then we've done our job. But there's also something to learn from every single speaker, from every single praise and worship night, from every single activity. And so I really invite you guys to dig deep this semester and to find out what that is. You know, find out where the Holy Spirit is going to lead you this semester, and find out how you're going to use each other and use this ministry to really grow deep in your faith. And I just really encourage you to come every week. Just keep showing up, and the Holy Spirit will provide. So now that we've kind of talked about the mission of E3, I want to dive into just step by step what E3 is going to look like this semester. So we're keeping the same like music and talk and activity kind of routine, but we're going to just tweak it a little bit. So to start off, instead of me getting up here every week at 9 o'clock and opening in prayer and introducing the night, we're going to have John, our new band director, start playing the guitar, or we'll have Val on the piano, or we'll have some sort of music to lead us in. And we really want to maximize our hour, because we only have 1 hour with you guys a week. And so to maximize that, we're going to start right at 9. And when you hear the music, just start making your way to your seat. And then I'm hoping that'll kind of, help with the flow of E3 and like getting the night started. And so once we realize that, okay, everybody's kind of trickling in, then we'll go into our opening song. And then after the opening song, that's when I'll come up and introduce the night. And I'm going to try to go into detail about this tonight, because I want to be as transparent as possible with you guys and just let you know the thought process behind everything, because the team and I have been working really hard for the last couple months to plan this out for you guys, and I'm so excited because I feel like we've had this secret for like the last 2 months, and tonight's like the big night that we can share it all, so I'm really excited. So basically, 9 o'clock musical start, start making your way to your seat. However, with that being said, we really want you guys to praise and worship how it fits you best. And so if that means you're kneeling or sitting or raising your hands, or you just feel like you need more room, there's extra space in the back and there's extra space in between the chairs. And so utilize that space. Pray however you feel is best, because we don't know how you deepen your faith, but we want to give you those tools. And so I do want to invite you guys that if it is best for you to go lay down in the back, do it. And don't feel like you have to do what your neighbor's doing either. The Holy Spirit works in beautiful ways individually, and we just ask that you listen to that, and hopefully it'll help you increase your faith. And so we'll go through our opening song. I'll introduce the night, I'll recap the series, and we are still sticking with series. And a couple days ago, the team and I got together and we planned out the series for the whole semester and every single topic for the whole semester. But how we choose speakers is going to be a little differently too. So tomorrow I am going to be sending out an E3 talk application, similar to an Awakenings application if you're applying for a talk. And so what that will look like, they'll ask for your name and, why do you feel called to this talk? It'll have a list of all the talks for the first half of the semester. And I'm going to send it out again at the second half of the semester. So keep an eye on your email for me, because you'll get a few throughout this year, or the semester. So there'll be a list of all the talks and the dates. And so keep those in mind when you're praying about this. And you'll have a week to fill it out, a week to pray about it. And I just ask that you really pray about this. And if you feel called to a talk, please apply. And then once applications close, the team and I will choose speakers based on an internal process that we have figured out. And so I just really invite anybody to apply, and that's including the team. So if you see some familiar faces, I hope you know that it is going to be a very fair process, and we want to give everybody an equal chance to speak, because I know you all have so many beautiful things to say, and we don't want to limit that. Like, we want you to say it. And even if you feel like you don't have a testimony that fits a talk, but you feel called, I really encourage you to apply, because you have beautiful things to say to this group. And I just know that the Holy Spirit is going to work in miraculous ways this semester. And we also are changing almost, okay. All right, I'm going to start that. So E3 is a ministry at Newman that is very testimony heavy. And we are meant for testimonies. And that is how E3 is created. However, that is so beautiful, but we want the testimonies to add to the scripture and add to the spiritual content. And so Jesus, told us to go spread the gospel. And in Mark 16:15, he said to them, "Go into all the world and preach the gospel of all creation." So that's what we are called to do. And God has given us this wonderful opportunity to preach the gospel, to share his news. And so we would love for all the talks to follow the topic, but really dive into that scripture, really dive into whatever resources you have, and then add your testimony on top of it. Because we still want to hear your testimony, we still want to hear your story, but we also want it to be, Jesus Christ centered. And so if you're confused about that, I would like to explain it in more detail after E3. We're also not going to put a time limit on talks. Generally, they've been 15 to 20 minutes, and we believe that whatever you have to say on your heart should not be limited by time. And so if your talk is, 5 minutes long, but it's the best talk that you could give and that, really touches a lot of lives, then we want you to give that 5-minute talk with as much passion as somebody who's going to give a 35-minute talk. Because there really is no limit to passion, and there's really no limit to love, and there's really no limit to, what is on your heart. So then after the talk, we're going to go into the activity again. And so for those of you who may not know, it normally went like music, talk, activity. And we're still sticking with that same order, but the activity this time is going to be music. And we're going to have that as the basis of E3 every single week. And then John and the band are going to have, a set list prepared. And we really encourage you guys to make that your own. We will still have things like small groups and silent reflection and a rosary, or if a talk has a better fit activity, we will use that. But for the general day-to-day, like E3, the basis of all activities is going to be music. And so during that time, we really invite you guys to, digest that speaker, digest this night, or just, digest in general, whatever. Whatever fits best for you. And so if that is journaling, journal. If that's just sitting there silently and reflecting, please sit there silently and reflect. If that is belting at the top of your lungs, please do that. And at the same time, we invite you to go stay in the back if you feel called to just stay in your chair and sit, to stand, to kneel, to lay down, to raise your hands, to do whatever it is that will help you deepen your relationship with Christ. Everybody works differently, and so we're going to give you guys the opportunity to really dive deep into that and to make it your own. And then the rest of the night is going to be pretty similar to how it has been in the past, with a closing prayer, with a closing song. I guess there's a closing song, closing prayer, announcements, snacks. So does this make sense? If it doesn't, that's fine. Come see me in the back. We have a poster in the back with the faces of the E3 team. And actually, okay. Can we turn the lights on a little bit and have the team stand so we can see their faces real quick? All right, so we got Alex, Rick, Julia, Blake, Tommy, Madeline, Chris, John. Okay, so there's the team. If you guys have any questions, if you need any help, thank you for that. If you want to talk to somebody about your faith, if you want to talk to somebody about E3, if you really want to buy somebody lunch, go to these people. I'm sure they're happy to go to Subway with me. But really, I really do encourage you guys to use those faces. We have a poster in the back if you forgot the names I just mentioned. I really encourage you to go check it out because I think it's really funny. So I know this talk was kind of boring, not a lot of like life-shattering things, but I really wanted to have this night with you guys to explain that we did hear your suggestions, and we really do value them, and this is a plan that we've come up with that we really think is going to be great, and I just really trust and pray that the Holy Spirit is going to lead us this semester, and we're just going to grow as a community, and we're going to grow as a ministry, and it's going to be a trial and error thing, so I really do ask you guys to trust us, trust the team, trust that if something's not working out, we'll figure it out, and we're going to work through it together. But we really hope that this will be a place that you guys can call home on Wednesday nights at 9, and a place that you can come and feel comfortable to grow in your faith and feel comfortable and confident that the Holy Spirit will use that. And so I just ask that you keep showing up. You know, you keep lighting that fire, and you keep using each other as a community so we can grow in length, the width, the depth of Jesus Christ's love. So I know I just threw a lot at you guys logistically, which isn't always exciting. So I'm going to leave you with something a little different than that. So tonight we are having adoration. And I'm going to throw the E3 verse up here again. And if you feel so called, you know, just sit with it, pray with it. You know, what is the Holy Spirit asking of you this semester? What is the Holy Spirit asking you at E3 this semester? You know, how will you use this semester to grow deeper in your faith? How will you use this semester and the rest of your life to really build on Jesus Christ's love? And how will you use this ministry to grow deeper in that length, that width, that depth of Jesus Christ's love? Because he's sitting there knocking, and he wants you to open it. So keep showing up. Again, I'm so excited that you guys are here. Like, I've been so excited for this night all week. The team and I have done a lot of planning for it, and I really, really trust and pray that it's going to be everything we need it to be. And God will meet us where we're at, and it, basically, the Holy Spirit's going to provide. I have full confidence in that. And so I just ask that you do too, and that you continue to work in the length, the width, the depth of your relationship with Christ, and that you utilize this night and this hour to do that while Jesus Christ is present.